I'm not even sure if it's even worth getting angry about this. But because I've already been let down by this company multiple times for this one IP alone. I'm not even a Blizzard fan whatsoever. I've never played or have an interest in getting into the Warcraft games, StarCraft, uh, inserts, Diablo. I've never played, nor do I have a desire to play any of those three super popular IPs. If you enjoy them, that's cool. But Overwatch was really the game that was the Blizzard game I got into. I really enjoyed the characters and the cinematics and all that stuff. And I have a lot of fond memories of playing in the first one with my friends multiple times. I go back and forth with how I feel towards the sequel because I just genuinely feel like it shouldn't even be a sequel. And it's not even a sequel. It's not even a sequel. It's an update. It was installed as an update, and it's basically as an update. And as of today, it is just that, an update. With which is just a thing that really bothers me the most about this sequel, quote unquote. The whole reason why Overwatch 2 was even a concept was because of the main focus on PvE. Am I right or am I right? As of today, Aaron Keller and pretty much the entirety of Blizzard just confirmed that the entirety of the storyline, the hero mode, is officially scrapped. And I think this is just a gigantic fuck you to every fan of this franchise. And I don't mean that with, and I mean that with with absolutely no exaggeration whatsoever. The fact is that they made this sequel specifically so that way they can work on the PvE. And why do they want the PvE? Because the content in Overwatch 1, and even in this game in particular, have been severely lacking. In Overwatch 1, we've had a complete lack of new heroes, lack of new new seasonal events. Like, we just keep playing the same ones over and over. And even then, it's like there was just a point of just there being a complete fucking drought in content starting in 2020. So the whole reason is because they were working on the sequel. By late last year, has it really been last year? Fucking Christ. Late last year, they released this version of the game, which is just a PvP, but they promised us that the PvE was still being developed. Only for it to just be dropped. So what's the point of the entire sequel? Basically, this entire trailer, the 0-hour trailer, the one that announced this sequel in the first place, is useless because they're not capitalizing it. At best, we're getting the same PvE treatments that we've been getting from the first game, but I guess a bit better. You know, stuff like the StarCraft and whatever the hell that they're releasing by the 5th season. That's all we're getting. We're just getting like little bits and pieces of story missions sprinkled around each season, and that's it. No more, no less. That entire customization feature of how each character will play on the PvE that will make, a character very unique from how they're normally played in the PvP, that's gone. All that is gone. Everything that was announced in BlizzCon 2019, gone. And for what? For nothing. Everything was all for nothing. And honestly, I shouldn't even be surprised. I really don't know why I'm even surprised to see this, because for some reason in my dumb, naive little brain, I think to myself that Overwatch is in a situation where it's losing viewership, it's losing support, it's losing players, and it's had its ups and downs, balancing issues, lack of content, and just no single player, no story content whatsoever. It's just a primarily multiplayer game, despite its infinite potential of telling a really good story thanks to its cinematics. But for some reason, I've always thought to myself that Overwatch has been through so much shit over the years that this PvE mode will definitely change everything. This game will be like how Dunkey said it, the next Left 4 Dead, essentially. A game that is so centered around teamwork, cooperative gameplay, a bunch of It's a team-based game, and you're teaming up to fight Omnics, and more PvE content will come around. Maybe even customizable ones. Like, the point is, there was so much promise with the PvE mode that to have it scrapped to the extent that it is, it's so insulting to any consumer. Anyone that was excited for that mode since its announcements, and even those that have stuck around this franchise for as long as they did, it's an insult. It's... for some reason, I guess I just had this thought process that because of all the hurdles that Overwatch has went through, I figured that they would pull through somehow. But I was wrong. The sad thing is that if it weren't for the fact that I still played this game with most of my friends, and the fact that this mode was even happening in the first place, I would have dropped the sequel like before this year even started, honestly. I was already disappointed personally on the direction that they were going for. But I still held out a bit of hope that there's still a light at the end of the tunnel, only to just be disappointed yet again. The sad thing is that this really didn't warrant, removing the entirety of the first game with this piss excuse of a sequel. It's just, like I said, it's just an update. It may as well play as an update. The 5v5, the new heroes, and I'll even argue the new story mode should have all been just Overwatch. There shouldn't be a 2 right next to it. But the whole reason why there even is a 2 was because of the PvE that literally just got scrapped. So now, everything that was warranted of this, removing loot boxes and having this stupid-ass battle pass crap, it was all for nothing. Nothing was warranted here. Nothing was gained. Nothing was earned. Nothing... It's just nothing. It's a big pile of nothing. And I shouldn't be upset about it. And honestly, I'm just more bitter about it, really. Like, I'm way past angry at this franchise, at this company, at everything regarding this decision right now. It doesn't even make sense, the reason why they gave it. To me, it just feels like they spent too much time on on one mission, that it was too much to even think of the idea of finishing the entire story with the promise that they have made. I often wonder if Jeff Kaplan never left the company, would we still get this? I refuse to believe that this was, doomed from the start. I just refuse to believe that. This was their only chance to make something good for once in their life, in their most recent years, where they had just been releasing nothing but dog shit after dog shit. Like I said, I may not be big on Warcraft or Diablo, but the fact that I hear nothing but shit about them now, like Warcraft 3 Remake, Diablo 4, Overwatch 2, it's all just complete shit. Nothing about what these companies have been doing has been remotely good. And the one time they could have at least done something decent for the Overwatch side of things, they fucked it up. They just gave up. They don't want to work hard anymore. I don't understand what went up this company's ass, but honestly, with everything that's gone around with this company, I really shouldn't have been surprised. But regardless, this is what we got. A few mission mode shits that we've been getting since Overwatch 1, except instead of 3 and Junkenstein's Revenge, and that's it. We get more. We'll get more. So I guess there's an upgrade in there somewhere, but it's not. It really isn't. This decision to just completely scrap out the entirety of the hero mode thing that was announced back in 2019 was a low blow for this series. There was a point in which Overwatch was like the top dog at the time of its release. Now it's just a fucking joke.